be Unit 9, Assessment 2. Yeah, Assessment 2, some level of review. All right. What are some vocabulary they need to know? Somewhere they need to find, they're the words sequence and series. As a pause, anyone know the difference between a sequence and a series? A sequence is a listing of numbers in some order, some pattern. Okay? But it's just those numbers, 2, 4, 6. In this case, 2, 8, 2, 4, 8, 16. Anybody know what comes after 16? In this sequence? 32. Say it again? 32 is correct. What comes after that? 32. 64, and then one more. 128. It's an ordered pattern where he gets to know what comes next because he knows what the pattern is. The numbers of the numbers that are part of it is it. To turn this sequence into a series, you add the numbers together. When you add the numbers together of a sequence, you then have a series. So if I were putting something down, because you may be asked this question, what's the difference between a sequence and a series? Sequence, I'm going to put the number symbol above it. Dang it, let me get good writing. A listing of numbers. I wish I had the official definition somewhere. Numbers. I'll put numbers separated by commas. Series. Those same numbers separated by plus signs. In other words, in one group, you're just telling me what the numbers are. The other group, you're adding them together. So the difference between the sum and a series, sequence and a series. Sequence are a listing of numbers in a pattern. The listing of those numbers that are in a pattern. Series is adding them. We got a difference between a sequence and a series. Now we're going to go ahead and do one of the problems that each group. Obviously, you can go ahead of me and do it. The key to each group will be what is the formula that I'm using, and how do they ask the question? What are the words they use to ask the questions? You're going to get, I think, one of all 5 of these in 30 minutes. And the hardest part for you will be, so which one of these puzzles do you want me to put together? And once you know it, then obviously some are easier to memorize. A over 1, 1 minus r. Make a story, which is what I'm going to try to do for myself. This geometric series, if I have to add numbers together, this one's going to be a mess, except there is a pattern. Hopefully you see there's a 1 over 1. There's an r over r. So 1 minus r in terms of your memorization is going to be important. The top guy gets more than the bottom guy. In America, the top guy, he gets to ride first class. The lower guy, we're on the back of Southwest, cramped in the middle. They don't even give you a meal anymore. Not that the meals when they used to give them to you were that great, but you get nothing but those peanuts on Southwest. So the guy on top gets more. A is always out for, maybe not. All right, so let's go ahead and get some answers, and then from there, we'll spend a little bit of time on memorizing. I'll do it, though it'll make me memorize it. Hopefully I do a memorizing technique so clear that it still works for you, even though the person who memorizes things or makes up the story usually gets to memorize it better. Here we go. I'm doing number 2. Now, then we did list these in order. Anybody know what the cutoff mark is for this first list on the geometric sequence? Is it between 5 and 6? 6 and 7, 5 and 6? See if I can raise mine up a little bit. I assume 1 to 5 is whatever. How do I get you up? You just go up like that? No, you're right. No? All right, side thing, but I want. All right, here we go. What I'm trying to do is try and get it right between that breaking point. 5 and 6, which means we did 6, but now I don't have access to 5. All right, here goes. I'm doing number 2. If you want to try and do number 2, just like we did number 1, ahead of me, with me, fine. Do it. The goals, 1 from each category. What should you be looking for as you're doing 1 from each category? How do they ask the question? What are the pieces of the puzzle that you need? And then how do we put them in? Here I go, number 2. because I'm working with puzzle number 1, every puzzle has certain pieces. Number 1 has 3 pieces, an A sub 1, an R, and an N. Puzzle number 2 has 3 pieces, an A sub 1, an R, and an N. The last one has only 2 pieces, an A and an R. So here's something important. A and R are in all of them, but it's eliminating the last. All right, so for number 1, ARN is an arm. Is it close enough to the word arm? All of them on 1 through 5, what are they asking me? Sequence. I only see the word sequence. Series. Okay, the part of the process of memorizing. Number 1. Only one of these just asks you for something with the sequence. The other 2, some addition is happening because it's talking about series. So let's see. This one. Find the 11th term. Find the 13th term. Please do me a favor. And let's do Mr. Tribute to my high school Spanish teacher, Mr. Britton. Tribute to Mr. Britton. He knew that the memory technique says if you write something weird, it does something like the word is term. Why is he writing the big T-E big? It doesn't matter. The fact that you care puts it in your brain. So I'm right term. What is this for? Because apparently when you say the word term, you know you're using formula number 1. That's your trigger. Term, A sub 1, R, N to the 1. All right, here goes. I need an A, R, N. I got to find my arm. So it's an N, but arm is a real word. Arm isn't. Where's term? Circle term. Put a big T-E above it and a 1. Why T-E and a 1? Term is the word that tells me I'm going to use formula number 1. For you, if you use a highlighter to color the number, like formula 1, 2, and 3, highlight term in that color. Highlight this problem in that color. Your brain will go, okay, oh, this is a green. Green is formula 1. Techniques that you need for memorize. Because in the end, when you have your notes out for 7 minutes, you'll just obviously read the question, write down the formula, write it down, which, they're all the same. Here we go. I need an A. Can someone tell me what A is in problem number 2?
900.
Yeah, A is always the same thing. It's the first letter in the alphabet, is the first number in the sequence. Hey, how do I know it's a sequence, not a series? There are no plus signs. It's only a listing of numbers separated by commas.
But there's no plus signs in any of the problems.
Okay, that's good. Then you know that makes it a sequence. And that knowing that vocabulary, I think they're going to ask you it. So I'll keep stressing sequence versus series.
So if there's a plus sign, it's not a sequence?
It is a series if there's a plus sign. It is a sequence if there is not.
But I don't remember 8 says there's a plus sign. It says find the sum of the sequence.
That's a good question.
I'm thinking.
I'll respond to that. I think once you put the plus sign in between them, they're a series. Oh. Which was a sequence. All right. I'll see what I say about it when I get to it. 900. I know what they're doing, though. It is how they're writing it out initially. Anybody know what the R is in this one? Oh, no, let's go to another easy one. R is the hardest one to find, though it's a baby thing to find it. N. What is the N in this problem? Someone different who answered. Hey, we got that from Daniel. It's the first number, A. Anybody know what the N is? Asked before. So 2 pieces of the puzzle, way easy to find. First piece, and that one. If you're using the right formula. And then the last question, of course, is the R. The R is a little bit hard to find. Anybody know what the R stands for? What the letter stands for?
Whatever it's like multiplied by or divided by.
Yes.
Multiplied by is like it'd be like the decimal. So
right. So it is what it's being multiplied by. It has an actual name. I think they may ask you this question.
Radius.
Radius. A good answer. Not what they're looking for here.
Ratio.
Ratio. Not only is it a ratio, but it's called the common ratio. The reason it's called a common ratio, and let's write that R, write that somewhere. That part's going to be important. So R. Even though it's interesting that they can use one letter to represent 2 words, but they do. Common ratio. Common is something we all have. What do we have in common unless using the word itself? So the common ratio is what is it that all of the numbers have? Well, I'll just do it this way. How do you get from 900 to 300? Well, you put 300 over 900. Second number over the first. And because we're on the geometric thing, the geo has the ratio. Now we take the 100. Third guy, mine goes over the second guy. You do the same thing, do something common. The common language, lingua franca, something like that, the common language. Someone on the calculator, please do 300 divided by 900.
0.3 repeating.
Yeah.
0.33.
Yeah, I hate those. I'm going to put a 0.3, which I'm going to do the decimal. Sometimes if you don't have calculators, you would leave that as a fraction. You would reduce it to 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and you use a fraction. Since you have calculators, go with that. You have just done the hardest part of the problem. At this point, if the problem is worth 2 points, I'm giving you 1. You just identify the pieces. If you haven't gotten an answer, I'm giving you half of it. If it's out of 4, I'm giving you 2. Here it comes. Put it in the puzzle. Please write down the puzzle every time. Let's see. I'm going to write this puzzle thing down, and I'm going to see if there's some way I can memorize it. I'm going to make a story. I'm even going to put in this 11 on this left side to confuse some kid who thinks, because there's a number on the left side of the equation, that he or she has to do something with it, but he or she doesn't. The left side just, it gives you instructions. Hey, find the 11th term. Okay, I'm going to do the work on the right to get that answer, but I'm not doing anything with this a sub 11. A sub 1, the very first term was a 900. Oh, no, write formula. And then write the pieces in. A sub 1, there's an r raised to a power. That power is whatever n is, take away 1. Write the formula every time. You choose not to, that's your business. That's your business, but I live in math world. And I know if you rewrite it over and over, it'll just be in your brain without you trying. 900 gets to go first, in a parenthesis. R, what was R again? It was, I think, a point something. 0.3 gets to go second. I'm going to put them in a parenthesis. And then this n minus 1, n is 11. This is the one piece that I would allow you to shorten. You could put 11 minus 1, or you could put 10. I'm going to put 11 minus 1 initially, but because it's always minus 1, you could just put the 10. All right, from there, punch into the calculator. Once 2 people agree, then that'll be our answer. That is, you get the arm. Yeah, you get half the credit. But if you don't get that final answer with a calculator in hand, I can't give it to you. So everybody make sure you have that. You're just punching it right in. The 900 times. Now, I would do parentheses for mine, like parentheses 900, parentheses 0.3, raised to the power. That's under the clear button. It's called a caret symbol. Again, you can do 11 minus 1, or up there, put in the 10. Is there anyone who, okay, that's it this way. All right, for those watching at home, reviewing, formula, puzzle, it's the same thing. Any formula, go to college, any math class, physics class. It is true of those who get messed up with the formula. If the sequence is short enough, yes, you could figure out what number comes next in line and then just add them up. You know what I mean? So if this is 7, 14, 28, whether they're doubling it, yeah, they're doubling it. That'll be 56, 102. If you can figure out what the numbers that come and get all 9 of them, you can just do plus, plus, plus in your calculator and just add them together. You don't need the formula. The formula is for real mathematicians who need it to get like 100 of them, 1,000 of them, because they're studying the United States. Well, they can't add 1,000. It'd be a waste of their time. Plug into the formula. Voila, there you go. But if it's short, and you can figure out what all 9 of them are, let's add it together. That's if you forget the formula. All right, so let's see.
I got a really big one. 3,577.
Hey, I heard that up front. 3,500.
But shouldn't the number have to be an even number?
7.
It just seems wrong.
You're adding it all together. 7 is odd, so it's possible it could be odd.
Oh, you're right.
You're adding all these, I would say positive. How can I tell? Because I'm adding them all together. Like I got $7, I got $14, I got $28, and I had all the money. It turned into negative, be weird. Anybody get that 3577? I'm writing it once. I got 2. All right. Hey, but I didn't get that. If you wrote the formula and you put the pieces in it on this big one, I'm giving you credit. On the others, you need to get an answer, but on this one, because there's so many commas and rather parentheses, you can throw your time on this one. Put it in, let's hope it comes out to something. What did they ask us? Find the sum if the sequence is an infinite. This is a weird question. This is saying that the sequence went on forever and ever. You know? Add it together. Well, how can you add it together if it never stops? Like, oh, you got it all. Oh, you forgot one more. Got it. Okay, there's one more. Well, I got it. This is also called calculus. This thing called finding the limit. Finding the limit. And basically, as things are going in a direction, they look like they're going towards an answer. Whatever that answer appears to be, we just say that's where it actually winds up, even though it's infinite. Let me watch this. You got about 10,000. Oh, parenthesis 1 minus 0.1. And then it gave us what, the 9s, or was it the ones?
The one.
How many ones was it? Like 4 before the decimal, or 5?
5 before the decimal.
All right, that's good enough for me. I believe it's called common difference because to find the number that you add to the next one, you have to do some subtraction initially to get the answer to find it out. So let's see how we do that. The common difference. All right, so we did number 1. This is let's do number 2. 2, let's see what are the letters involved. A and B. And versus arm. Geometry or geometric sequence, you bite off your arm for the counting arithmetic and an arm. A and D. Y capital, let's do lowercase. I'm doing number 2. A and D. Anybody, the first one to say it in number 2, what is the A, please?
50.
What is the N?
25.
For your D, just in case you miss it, I want you to write this down. Second goes above the first, but in this case, it's actually subtraction that you're doing. On geometric, when you put it above, it's what's the word? It's division. But this time you need a minus sign. The 60 above the 55 and a minus sign. Hence the name common difference. What's the answer you get when you subtract the 2 numbers? In this case, it's going to be a what? What's the D, the common difference? 5. 55 minus 50 is a 5. 60 minus 55 is 5. N, it says 25. Who said 25? Or maybe said 26, and I wrote 25. How do you know 26? All right. So if you put a 25, then you're doing blind faith. You're like Jim Jones in Guyana, this dude who killed a bunch of people and had to drink some Kool-Aid. Anybody know Jim Jones? Sure, they need to hear it. All right. Guyana, Kool-Aid. Oh, the fact that I put a 25, no one questioned me. No one questioned Jim Jones, except for a few who try to get out of there. In any case, put in the formula, work it out. We'll do one more, the end. This formula you may not know is the y equals mx plus b. They have it reversed, where the m, the slope, is usually in front of the x, and the y-intercept is at the very end. It's moved around, but it's the same thing. Let's see, write down the formula, put the numbers in. Nth term. Why did you guys write a sub n on this one? I'm going to write it. I'm gonna put it right here just like this. I'm gonna put A sub n. I want to know a particular term. In class, I want to know who the 5th student is, starting from Daniela. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Haley. But it's not always Haley. Whoever sits in that seat happens to be Haley. In other words, depending on what the sequence is, the 5th term may be something different. All right, here we go. Formula. I got no story for this one. A plus AN. When you try to memorize things to put in a story, we remember them, just like in the movie 50 Shades of Grey, which again I haven't seen, but clearly the story, I think it's just this good girl turned bad by this rich dude. And they do stuff together. I think that's the story. I don't know if he traps her or something. She has to escape, or it was just a story. Anybody know if he traps her?
Like emotionally traps her.
Does she get away at the end? We're happy. All right, here it comes. A, what did we say A was? A was a 50 plus D, we said it was a 5. And is a 26. Anybody know the final answer on this one?
175.
175. Write down all your work. That way, if you miss something that makes the whole thing wrong, I can try to give you credit for, like, well, you have to step to just put in the wrong number at the beginning. So here's the question you're being asked there. In this sequence, what's the 26th term? You got 50, 55, 60, 65. You know, when you get down to number 26, what is that number? Well, I want to know that. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there's a place in real life they want to know that. Do you go in a second? All right, let's see if we can finish this in 7 minutes. 7 minutes will be 35 minutes left for you to mess around with this. Will you need all that time? Most likely not. The people who need the time are the people who need to make up something. So make up people if you want to stop listening now and then prepare for whatever it is you need to do. You could choose to do that, or you could continue listening. There's no D. There's an A sub n. All right. Anybody what A sub 1 is?
22.
22. N.
Wait, don't you mean A in that?
In this case, just the N.
Oh, it's N.
Mm-hmm. And then the last piece is the A sub n. What is that? Let's see. Oh, A sub n, you need to write this somewhere. It's the last, and in this scenario, A sub n is the last term. Yeah, it's the actual last term in the sequence. Last term in the sequence, A sub n.
Wait, where'd the 11 come from? N. Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. So big N. N is, remember your purple turd?
I was subtracting.
Doing something like that.
Yeah.
Turns out for this one, we don't need to know a common difference or a common whatever. And the question would be, well, how does he know that? Because of the formula that I have available.
Yeah.
You know, the formula tells me what are the pieces of the puzzle that I need. Do I know the name of them? This guy's the last term. Who's the last guy in line? By the way, as a kid, I never used the word turd. It's I don't know if it's an Anglo term, but turd. You said it when I grew up. You're such a turd. What? Does that mean? That's the mean thing? It just doesn't seem like really heavy. It just doesn't feel like if you were to call me a turd, I'd be like, oh, okay. That's not really heavy. You piece of. Now that's a little bit heavy. Same concept. Not even the whole thing. I'm just a piece of it. All right. In any case, good thing I didn't record that. All right. Here goes. What is it here? It's the last term. No. And there it is. Put in the puzzle. Punch it in. See how you do.
How did we get that?
Do they give that to us?
Yeah. Or if they don't. Not quite that intense. Maybe skip that one. If they don't, figure it out. Or I'll tell you, baby. I'll say it this way. If there are only 11 terms, I'm going to let you struggle with it. If you go past 11, then you ask me, what's that final term? Well, what does it mean if there are 11 terms? You might struggle with it. You'll figure out what the pattern is. Like, what's the pattern on this? From 22 to 31, 31 to 40. Because I'm on arithmetic, I'm going to subtract, just like the guy was doing over there, Skylar was doing. Hey, Skylar, when you subtract, what do you get? You get 9? Yeah, you do get 9.
Yeah.
So they are increasing by 9. Hey, Thomas, they didn't give me the 11th term. Okay, you have to add 9 times until you get to 11 numbers to find out what that last one is. When you find out what that last one is, then do it. How many here? 15? Okay, 15, I'll give it to you. Don't add 15 times. So plus 9 gives me 49. Plus 9 gives me 58. Plus 9 gives me, 67, and so on. We assume that we'll get to 112, which is how I must have gotten it. In any case, we got 4 minutes. Let's get this answer. When the hang gets on the 6th, no matter what's happening, I'm going to give you your test. So finish this, let them review for 5 minutes. You got 5 formulas. Memorize 3 of 5, the 3 easiest ones. But for sure, the sum of the geometric infinite series, you do that one.
Thomas, can we write our
You cannot.
formulas on the tests before? Or
You cannot. If you have it memorized, yeah, like.
What about when
Yes.
we get our notes?
Yeah, when you get your notes, you do whatever you want. What am I looking for? N, you're a what? An 11. This is weird. You usually have an even number for n, but they say 11 is 11. Doesn't matter. You have a calculator. 11 divided by 2. Parentheses, the first number would be 22 and a 112. 22. All right, somebody spit out some answers. You just punching it in 11 to
737.
all right, 737. Any of the 737s? No, 737. I don't think I'm going to do any of these anymore.